When you delve into the world of horror, your imagination often conjures up images of monsters.
I am Dracula.
Those classic archetypes that never seem to fade away. Take vampires, for instance. You've got the grotesque Nosferatu on one hand and the super sexy vampires on the other. From Dracula to True Blood, Twilight to Lestat, and even Salem's Lot. These are all variations on the iconic archetype. And then there's Frankenstein, who's made appearances as Lurch in the Addams Family, Herman on the Munsters, and Frankie in Monster High. Of course, there are other staples too: werewolves, zombies, ghosts, and devils. We've come to expect variations on these archetypes, but what we rarely expect is something entirely new. Well, my friends, I've found just that, and I can't wait to talk about it because I am Daisy Ex Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Yes, I'm talking about The Book Eaters by Sunyi Dean. I nearly picked this book for Shelve It or Shove It when it was released in 2022, but I didn't get around to finally reading it until earlier this year. Let me tell you, I was blown away by this unique and incredibly cool monster. So let's dive headfirst into The Book Eaters. You may be wondering, what exactly is a book eater? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like, a human-looking person who devours books. But here's the kicker, they're not human. In fact, even the book eaters themselves aren't entirely sure what they are. They speculate that they might be biological probes sent to the Earth by aliens to collect information, but then were abandoned. I must say, I absolutely love that theory, even though it's never confirmed in the book. These beings can unhinge their powerful, muscular jaws and literally eat books, absorbing the stories into their very essence. Now, book eaters haven't been around that long, maybe just a few hundred years, and they reproduce slowly, notably because females are rarely born. You'd think this might lead to a matriarchal society, but no, it's a patriarchy. And women are treated as prized commodities. Unfortunately for our female main character, Devon, who has grown up literally consuming fairy tales, she expects her own story to have a fairy tale ending. But as she grows older, she realizes that the fate of female book eaters is far from glamorous. They're passed around among the dwindling book eater families to produce offspring. There's something strangely medieval about the way male-female relationships are structured among the book eaters. While it's somewhat understandable in the context of ensuring the species' survival, this is not medieval times. This is a contemporary setting, and Devon rebels against being treated as a brood mare. The first half of the book is a mix of tragedy and indictment of the patriarchy and search for empowerment by a woman who's just discovering her own strength. And there's a distinct Gothic element that runs throughout the first half of the novel, which I found utterly fascinating. But it takes a really dark turn in the second half, transforming into a true horror story. We discover that sometimes a book eater is born as a mind eater. And yes, I know it sounds like we're in vampire territory with mind eaters feasting on brains instead of books. However, thanks to Sunyi Dean's exceptional world building, it never felt to me like the mind eaters were copycats of vampires. They're a unique branch of the book eater community, and they're treated poorly by the normal book eaters. Our main character, Devon, decides she doesn't want to be separated from her latest child and traded off to yet another family to breed more offspring, so she ends up being drawn into a rebellion of book eaters who want to modernize their society. The twist? Her small child turns out to be a mind eater, and she also discovers herself being attracted to women. So there's a sapphic B-plot. This is a rich, complex story with a lot of layers. It is extremely well written on a prose level. I did feel as though the middle was a little long or a little bit soggy, but overall, if you're into horror, especially gothic horror, and allegories of male-female dynamics and patriarchies, I highly recommend The Book Eaters by Sunyi Dean. This debut novel comes out swinging, and I cannot wait to see what Sunyi Dean has next. I kind of hope there's a sequel. Do you know of any other standout horror monsters that are unique? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, let me know if you've read The Book Eaters or want to read The Book Eaters. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.